Welcome to the Reunion Podcast, a fictional, imaginative story about an aging Beatles fan. This is the first episode, which is called Abby and the Roadkill. Before we begin, I have to give you a little disclaimer that this is a work of fiction. Any names or characters, businesses or places, events or incidents are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The legalese aside, there is one more thing I'd like to tell you. It is not by coincidence that I got a hold of this manuscript. I had an invitation to play two roles, a big role of narrator with a whole lot of words and another small role without any words at all. So I will do my best to narrate this story for you, together with other actors and actresses. The small role will have a fictional relation to some of the characters, as I was surprised to discover late into the story, and you will too, at the right time. Oh, by the way, I'm also a Beatles fan. Now let's get on with the reunion story itself. Widlowski, a die-hard Beatles fan in his early 60s, pottered around his apartment looking for something. Walking out of his bedroom in a shabby black suit, he adjusted the loose tie and ran his hands through his long, curly salt and pepper hair. Widlowski remembered an aphorism he learned in high school back in Zagoria by a fictitious writer, Kozma Prutkov. Where is the beginning of the end that ends the beginning? Today, thinking of the recent sad event, he would rather ask, where is the end of the beginning that begins the end? He couldn't hold in a sigh and knew that if he ventured to look in any of the mirrors in a small one-bedroom apartment, he would see how sullen his face had become in the last few days, how dejected it appeared to be. But he also knew, without a doubt, that he would have seen that familiar spark of mischief in his eyes, too. Even a treasure trove of Beatles mementos densely packed into the shelves surrounding the mirror and his sorry face couldn't raise his mood even a tiny bit. These were many pieces that he had collected over the years, such as music CDs and LPs, books and posters, which evidently belonged, yet other odd things had a hidden meaning visible only to Widlowski. What's with a small, evidently cheap, and almost ancient artificial leather suitcase with scratched metal corners, or a strange little temple with the almond peace signs? Yet these were the ones Widlowski fixated his otherwise random and desperate gaze around the room. Those were the ones which related to the Beatles, only in a very convoluted way, but had a more direct connection to Widlowski's own life. Widlowski was currently trying to find one of these items, but couldn't. All that filled the apartment were the sounds of his breathing and the soft panting of Hey Bull as he loped into the room, licking Widlowski's cheek before plopping on the couch. An idea came to Widlowski, and he rummaged around the mess on the coffee table until he found a chocolate bar. He opened it and had Hey Bull sniff it with a sour expression on its face, as it knew not to ever eat it. To further help his dog better understand the quest, Widlowski rose and walked over to his CD player and turned on a song. Music danced into the room, filling every cubic inch with Savoy truffle. But the good news box of Savoy truffle chocolates was, sadly, still missing in action.